Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Mondays, where you are speaking with me and I'm speaking with you on the other side of the weekend. I am your host, Sherrie Roberts, and we are super duper excited for our guest that's going to be on tonight. Now, yes, we are still in the month of June and we're still talking about fathers and Father's Day. I think it's an important issue that we need to address. But before we get to our guest, I just want to remind you that there's a little tiny workbook that's out there on Amazon, and it is called 21 Ways to Bless, even if you're broke. That's right, even if you don't have the money, the El Dinero, the cash, the cheddar, whatever you want to call it, you can still be a blessing to someone. It is still available on Amazon. I just realized this book was written 10 years. It's been 10 years, a whole decade. So we're celebrating 10 years of this particular workbook. It is something you can write in and be able to share with a friend. So go to Amazon and get your copy today. All right, today we're going to go right into our special guest. We are talking with Miss Simone Graham. She is a case manager that is with the Fatherhood Pride program. She really works with child support navigation, and she is going to join us today on Let's Talk Monday. Good afternoon or good happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
Great, great. Now, Miss Graham and I are just getting to meet, but we are going to talk about some very familiar topics, men and fathers in particular. We are going to start off by talking about Miss Graham's role and tell us a little bit more about what you do and the organization that you serve.
Okay, I'm currently a case manager under the Healthy Start Coalition program called Fatherhood Pride. I actually became employed with them in October of 2024. And some of my main responsibilities are helping fathers with child support navigation. I also assist with a lot of dads that have DCF case plans. So I'm a referral source as well to help them implement their case plan completions and what they need. We're also a referral source agency. I help a lot of dads that need housing, stability. Sometimes we have fathers that don't have enough food for their family, so I'm also a resource to help them with different food banks that might be needed, and also establishing other type resources they might need as far as some type of mental health counseling or any other like health resources as far as being able to get some health services. Sometimes they haven't been to a doctor, so I'm able to help them align with the health department. I have one particular dad that needs shelter and he has to get a TB card, what the shelters require him to have. So I had to set him up with the health department for him to be able to get that TB card completed, and then he's now able to complete the application for the shelter to get housing.
Excellent. So it is a plethora of services that
Yeah.
you actually assist and guide. I love that. It's not just one aspect, but it's many areas that many fathers deal with, just like mothers.
Mhm.
So this is a wonderful program. Tell us a little bit about now. We talked with Barry Dukes on the last Let's Talk Monday show, and he gave us a plethora of information regarding fatherhood pride. And one of the areas that I wanted to specifically address now, we know that they get services for those who have their children with them and they're trying to be a better dad. They're trying to do the right thing. But unfortunately, some of those dads may experience the loss of a child.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about how this service also services those who are dealing with grief after the loss of their child or children.
So our main focus with Fatherhood Pride is to prevent infant mortality, and we know that infant mortality are deaths of babies that occur between the ages of birth and that first year. So our main focus is to get that child to that first year. So by doing that, we actually bring in dads through a referral basis type thing, or sometimes self referrals.
Mhm.
Bring them in. We assess exactly what their needs are, and then they're placed in one of our certain programs. We have different programs that align with fatherhood. I currently work for CNF, which is Comprehensive Needs of Fathers.
Mhm.
We have RFEP. We also have Teen Dad, and then we have Fatherhood um, 2.0.
Mhm.
So we figure out which father needs to go, where the father needs to go, and which program he needs to be in. And from there, we assess the needs of that dad to figure out how we can help him and the family. And just to make sure that he is being the responsible father that he needs to be so the child can reach that certain age that they need to have a very positive childhood, a very good livelihood.
Right.
So as far as fathers that have had some type of death with a child, some infant mortality, I have a dad that was just actually, I inherited the case. The father came to Jacksonville months ago, and he had lost a 5-year-old child. When I sat down with him in his first interview, he explained to me that he was dealing with so much grief from losing that child. And when he sat down, I had no idea, but as I was talking to him, I could see and feel the emotion of what he was actually dealing with. So from there, I immediately stopped and I immediately called our resources for some mental health counseling. And
Right.
as I was
Mhm.
doing that, I was able to get him some grief counseling as well. Um, the father now is in counseling. We're trying to now get him stable with housing. We did find him some type of employment. He works a day job, but we're trying to get him something more consistent. But that's an instance where we've really tried to really help a dad cope with the loss of a child. So
Right.
it
Right.
just it deals on an individual basis when it comes to things, but we try to meet the fathers where they're at.
Absolutely. Wow, that has to be incredible to witness, but at the same time to have the position to
Mhm.
assist is certainly a service that is so needed. Do you find that there is a percentage of fathers that are is it increasing that there are more fathers that need these kind of services, especially that Fatherhood Pride in particular covers the Jacksonville, Florida, by the way, for those of you that are listening, it does cover the surrounding counties as well as Jacksonville or Duval County. Is there an increase? Are you seeing an increase as the year has come in, maybe since you've been in case management, and you said you've been in it for probably over 20 years? Has there been an increase of these problems, or are you seeing some just kind of a trend of things just kind of remaining the same?
I'm seeing them kind of remain the same, but as I've been in this program, it's
Mhm.
been very uplifting for me because being in social work for over the years, you see a lot of problems, you see a lot of issues where you can't really target where you want to target with families. And
Mm.
so this program has kind of allowed me to be able to implement some of the resources and skills that I've had from social work to be able to help. So I've seen since I've been with Fatherhood Pride since
Mhm.
October
Mhm.
of 2024, I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of growth with helping and with the assistance of fathers. I've seen a lot of referrals come in more, especially with child support and with the assistance of myself and some of the people at the Department of Revenue with the
Mhm.
child support program. We've worked in collaboration where we are able to help a lot of dads, and they're very happy with the success that we have been giving them with the referrals that they've been sending to us. So I'm glad to say that I'm seeing a more success rate, I would say, with
Excellent.
the fathers now that since I've been with the program, I've seen a more success rate.
Oh, this is awesome. And so, if you're a dad that's listening, and perhaps, or if you know a dad that is listening, this is why we offered this program, because we certainly get a plethora of services for women, and rightfully so, because a lot of times we do end up with custody of the children. But many dads out there are really trying hard. And I thought this was the perfect time to be able to kind of put a pin in your hat, a feather in your hat, and say, hey, you have resources. If you need the help, don't be ashamed or afraid, and certainly don't feel alone
Mhm.
in being a part of this program. So, Fatherhood Pride is a wonderful program, as the name denotes, for dads. However, let's talk about ladies, for instance. Let's talk about women. Let's talk about baby mamas. Let's talk about you also have able to refer in terms of child support cases and child support navigation. Tell us a little bit more about that, and also if a father is having some challenges as of listening to this, what are the practical steps that they should take?
Okay, so with our program, once they're referred to us, they in any program that we have, um, they're actually able to receive parenting classes.
Mhm.
That's one of the requirements of our program. We do have it. The program is free, but we do require the dads to complete parenting classes. And one of the main parenting classes that I like to speak about that I implement with my dads as well as the facilitators with our company is 24/7 dad. 24/7 dad covers communication, and communication is a big key when we're dealing with these dads sometimes that have these child support orders, because a lot of times the mother and the father aren't agreeing on the support order with, visitation. Sometimes I have to work with dads on getting a modification with that. Well, how will that look to that mom? Sometimes they get upset because they're seeing this modification, but is it in the best interest of the child? That's what we try to focus mainly on. And so trying to get these dads to realize the communication with that mom is best. A lot of them are single fathers themselves or come from single father homes, and so hearing it from a woman sometimes is a little different, but we emphasize mainly on bringing that communication together. I know sometimes I give a lot of insight on my marriage, with how I communicate with my husband. And, we have two children. So it's just barely going over, not barely, but generally going over those communication skills and just trying to get them to realize the best interest of the child is to have that open communication with that mother.
Absolutely. That certainly is key in a lot of different areas. So we are certainly grateful for that. I want to take the time just to show a little bit of the uh, flyer that was given to me. I actually have one of these at my job. And of course, this is addressing that Fatherhood Pride does address the comprehensive needs of fathers. I love that. Hi, see you. I see you, Daddy. And also a list of the programs that were mentioned that Ms. Graham has mentioned throughout the interview. Certainly, you can maybe even take a picture of that on that QR code and get more information that you can find out about the various programs that are going to be extremely helpful to you in the future. And certainly, as you look back at this show, you'll be able to get that information. But certainly, tell us about an exciting event. This is a great event. I believe Mr. Dukes mentioned this as well. There is a big event coming up at the end of this month,
It is.
and it is a barbecue, and it is definitely something that a lot of people like to come out to, but this one is a good one. It's going to give them some information. Tell us about this exciting barbecue coming up.
Yeah. So this is our seventh annual Fatherhood Pride barbecue. And this barbecue is emphasizing infant mortality awareness. And so we will have different participants that we have on our caseloads coming out together and having this barbecue, and they're able to bring out their families and just get awareness of what infant mortality is and how to prevent it. So we'll have vendors, a lot of different vendors, a lot of our different resources that we use, legal aid. We have some other resources that come out in the community that help us. We will try to also have bounce houses for the children,
Nice.
games for the families, but we try to put this on every year, and we try to just emphasize the importance of family and just bringing it to the whole.
Excellent, excellent. So the date, I believe, is June the 28th, and we'll bring this back up so somebody may have missed that, but certainly take note of this for June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, it's the Infant Mortality Awareness Barbecue, seventh annual event. And we certainly are looking forward to you presenting this because it's such a need in our community, and that some father will actually benefit from this, and especially the children, that they will
Yeah.
benefit as well by having a father that understands
And it's such
um,
a joy.
what is his role.
It,
Hmm.
all of the fathers out there with their families, and they have a barbecue contest as well with the
Oh,
dad.
wow.
So it's a very exciting event, but just emphasizing what this does and how it brings just awareness to infant mortality.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much, Miss Graham, for coming on. We're going to put up the information for your website or the website. I'm sure that they can reach out to you. If you go under the families tab, I believe it says fatherhood programs, and they can get more information. And certainly, if you want to email me, I'll be sure to get their information to you if they have additional questions. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Let's Talk Monday show. I am your host, Sherrie Roberts. You've been listening to our case manager and child support navigationalist. I gave you a new title. Miss Simone Graham, it has been a pleasure. Certainly, any time we can save someone's life or just make it better, we certainly are grateful for you to come on and share that information.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. And again, we want to put this up. Fatherhood Pride is the program for those fathers who need any information. You definitely want to reach out to these services as well as the website. Several programs that are so helpful for you. And also the infant mortality barbecue awareness barbecue is coming up on June 28th. If you have questions, go to A. Philip Randolph Park, and those of you in Jacksonville know exactly where that is. And of course, you can always ask if you need some guidance. Thanks again, and be sure to join me again for Let's Talk Mondays, where we meet you on the other side of the weekend. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Bye.